Hey people, assuming that is what you are. Lethal Bagel here, back with another game review. This is actually something I haven't done in a while, but before we start, I'd like to make a couple, or just say a couple things, I guess. First off is that I've recorded in 60 FPS this time. I hope it looks smoother. I mean, there's probably going to be frame skips here and there either way, but OBS is not particularly stable, so that's just, it's bound to happen. Yeah. And the second one is, I'd just like to make a couple of shoutouts. The first one is going to go to Ziggy's Revenge, and the second shoutout is going to go to Talk Shit Avenger. Go subscribe to Ziggy's Revenge. Very good content, good channel, friend of this one. And go subscribe to Talk Shit Avenger, super good commentary channel, super high quality videos, and deserves more than he has, I think. Yeah. So now with the announcement of Hitman 3 recently, we're gonna see if Hitman 2 is actually still worth a buy, or whether you should just wait for the third game to come out before purchasing. Well, I guess probably if you haven't heard of Hitman before, I should probably go over what exactly it is you do in this game. Generally, this game is very slow-paced, very stealthy. You play as Agent 47, this sort of bald dude who kills people. That's that's the whole deal. He's got a barcode on the back of his head for some reason, but you'll be dropped into each kind of level with a certain number of targets from ranging from 1 to, I believe, 3 targets, I want to say. Oh, no, sorry, 4 targets is the most. And you are tasked with eliminating them all in, whatever way you see fit, and then escaping. And while loud is theoretically an option, think logically. There's 40 armed guards with submachine guns. The chances are you're not going to be able to fight through them all just on your own. Fortunately for you, guns aren't the only tools available to you. Agent 47 can put on any disguise that he finds, pretty much, and instantly turn into that person, except for a couple people who recognize him for some reason. You also have multiple poisons and lockpicks and distractions and bombs and etc. at your disposal for different creative ways of eliminating targets. The next thing I'd like to talk about is how well the game runs. I like to include something like this in all of my reviews going forward, just because I was gaming on a super budget system for a very long time, and I just recently got my new one. So if you're curious, I'm running a 1660 Super and an i3-9100F, and this game rarely dips below 60 frames per second, at least on my screen. The recording may have a few frame skips. That's just OBS. And this is running on max settings at 1080p. And I was getting a solid 30 frames maybe on low to medium settings with a GTX 1050 and this old Xeon processor on my old machine. So I think it's safe to say it should be able to run on just about anything, and it can look good on even like lower end or like mid-range PCs. If you're watching the video and you've played the original, or not the original Hitman, but Hitman, I believe 2016, this game might look extremely similar to you. That's because it's I believe running off the same engine, and it just has some very minor improvements that make a very big difference, and actually made me want to replay the entirety of Hitman 1 in Hitman 2. You can replay the Hitman 1 missions in Hitman 2, and it's much more fun just because of the new mechanics added. You can probably, if you were paying attention to the footage on screen, you'll probably notice that I was carrying around a briefcase, and that's one of the new things added. You can use those to conceal larger weapons like assault rifles or sniper rifles without arousing suspicion. More changes / improvements, I guess, include blending in while you're in a crowd, foliage that allows you to blend in, and a little camera in the corner of the screen that doesn't really obscure any of your vision at all while you're playing, but it does include, or it does kind of give you a little bit more of an idea when a body gets detected, where that is, when a weapon that you've dropped gets found, when a target you've killed gets killed. It just gives you another little perspective and maybe an idea of where exactly it happened and how. Another thing I'd like to speak on is the age rating. So this game is rated 18 plus. Do I agree with that? No. There are some gruesome bits, I guess, and there are some drug references, but what 4-year-old isn't on heroin? And it's not that gory. It's not. There's only one scene I can think of, or like one, like specifically remotely disturbing scene, and I've seen worse than that in like fucking Riverdale. Okay, like it should not be rated M. That's like teen. That's the rating. But ESRB strictly employs Karens, so who cares? Who gives a fuck? Whatever. Last thing I'm going to talk about before we get to the end of the video is other game modes. Now there are, I believe, 3 other game modes. There's contracts, which it's just like user-created missions. Like they're not user-created levels; they're in the same levels, but they just choose the targets and how long you have to kill them, and what weapon specifically, etc., etc. There's also, I'm not going to touch on that. I don't really use or like play contracts. It's not particularly fun for me personally, but you might like it. There's also Ghost, it's like Ghost mode, I think it's called. And that's just a mode where you can compete with one friend to see who gets like a higher score or something on the same mission, just like in real time. And I also don't have any friends, so that's why I don't have any footage of that. And finally, there's Sniper mode. Sniper mode's kind of dog shit, in my opinion. There's 2 maps, and one of them you have to have, like, the super mega deluxe fucking 24-karat platinum edition that costs, like, $600 to get. I don't know. You probably don't. You can probably buy it separately, but fuck that. And the other one is kind of boring after the first once that you play it, so... Like, it's fucking Hitman Sniper. Just buy it on your phone. You fucking... I lied, though. That isn't the last thing I'm going to talk about. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the progression. So, to unlock new gadgets or guns or suits even, or starting locations or whatever on the map, what you do is... Well, during each level, there's a set of challenges. Most of them are unique to the level, although some of them carry across, like Sniper Assassin or Silent Assassin. So you can, if you complete those challenges, then you get some extra XP, as well as just doing stuff in the level, like getting new disguises. I don't remember if killing guards actually gives you that, assassinating targets, obviously, etc., etc. And then when you complete the level, you get however much XP you earn. And that goes towards that level's mastery. And then the mastery is it's a progression system that allows you to kind of have... But basically, it's very linear. So each level So you'll level up on each kind of map, I guess. And each level for that map, you'll unlock new, like, items or... just that kind of thing, like I mentioned before. And it's pretty fucking good. It encourages replayability, and it's really fun. I really like it. So to wrap up, would I buy this or would I wait for Hitman 3 and buy that? It really depends on a couple of things. First off, if you bought Hitman 1, definitely buy this. It's gonna like breathe new life into your old kind of missions. If you own Hitman 1, you don't have to buy the whole game. You can buy one of those like silly like starter edition or whatever the hell ones that actually are just they're basically a demo, but you'll still get the new mechanics on your old missions. But if you're just buying the game, the standard edition costs about $75, which is super steep. Like I believe I got it on sale. That is pretty steep even for a new game, and this game came out in 2018, I want to believe. So I would wait for a sale. But we don't really have much news on Hitman 3. It might be a few years until it comes out, and we don't know if it's going to be backwards compatible with Hitman 2 missions like Hitman 1 is, although I believe that there's a good chance that it might be. Anyways, to wrap up the video, I just want to, first of all, thank you guys very much for, watching. Maybe drop a like if you enjoyed it. You don't have to, though. Also, I kind of, yeah, whatever. Fucking goodbye. See ya.